Google just released a huge new update with Google's NotebookLM. Google's NotebookLM allows you to actually change your notes into AI resources so you can ask questions about your notes. As well as they have this new feature where you can now add a podcast in that's based off of whatever notes or articles you have uploaded to NotebookLM. They also added this new feature. Check it out.
These laws are like the rule book for how everything in the universe moves and interacts.
Okay.
Oh, hey, I think our listeners got something to say.
Can you explain the 3 laws of motion with a basketball example?
Sure, I can do that. Let's use a basketball. Imagine you're dribbling. Newton's first law. That ball keeps moving until you stop.
As you saw in that example, you saw that NotebookLM allows you to create that podcast, but you can now interrupt the AI voices and ask a question based off the information you have already uploaded. So as you saw in that one example where they was asking about Newton's laws, that was a huge example because let's say you're studying for a test or something and you wanted to hear back your notes in a podcast format, but you had specific questions about specific parts of the things that you wanted to know about. And this right here can give you the opportunity to guide the podcast and guide the information that you get back. But it doesn't stop there. Let's say you wanted to be an author of the book and you wanted specific parts of the book to be highlighted. You can now do that too. Check this out.
Is right. And our guide for this adventure is a book called The Invention of Air. It's by Stephen Johnson.
I've heard good things about that one. Oh, our listeners got something to share. Let's hear it.
Hey, you two. This is a little weird, but I actually am Stephen Johnson, the author of The Invention of Air, and I'd really like you guys to give me some constructive criticism. Like, what don't you like about this book? Like, what could I have done better as an author?
Wow. Okay. Well, hello, Stephen Johnson. That's a surprise.
A very pleasant surprise, I must say.
Yeah. So you want our honest thoughts on your book?
Well, we've been highlighting some of the great aspects, but sure, we can dig a little deeper.
Okay. So one thing that's really clear from reading The Invention of Air is that you are a master at weaving together seemingly disparate topics, right?
As you see in that example, it was this author of this book who already had this book written and he was just having the podcast for the NotebookLM talk about his book, but he called in or joined the podcast to talk more about it and talk about like the motivations and stuff of that book, which is pretty cool because now you can use this as well marketing material. Because think about it like this: as NotebookLM gets more popular, I'm pretty sure these voices are going to become more standardized, just like you hear with 11 Labs, like on TikTok, as like a specific AI voice that's always narrating a lot of these AI TikTok videos. But here, if these AI voices get popular, let's say instead of you wanting to be on Joe Rogan podcast, what if this is the new Joe Rogan podcast for AI? And you can always just have your own stuff interjected and have them marketing it for yourself. And I think that's a pretty good angle to have because you can even like maybe mix in this podcast format with like other things. So let's say you're doing like movie reviews for like the latest and greatest movies that's out. You can have NotebookLM talk about it, but maybe you interject and be like, hey, what about this YouTuber who does like movie reviews? Now they can interject that movie review of your own personal channel with the overarching huge movie that's already out. I think this is huge because, well, it's already pretty good. The AI voices are already pretty crisp. They do a good job of already like letting you use the notes and articles that you already have in place to make content. But look at the future. This is only 2024. In 2025, who knows what may happen with these things, because we may be able to switch out the voices or just do other updates to NotebookLM. But if you want to keep up with the latest and greatest AI news, I think you should definitely like and subscribe. And with that being said, your boy Dex9 Dexter out.